Hello guys, once again it's Matt, and today we have another video. Thank you guys, Invictus, Crazy Bull, Cots, I Am a Noob, Interceptor, Shardson, Danny Cage, Rupert, and I Am a Noob again. Thank you guys, it helps a lot, it makes a lot of difference. Make sure to be a member, to be a Patreon. Soon we will have a donation button for PayPal. We already have one for Brazilian users, it is in the description. But yeah, my cell phone was talking alone, but still. Let's get into it. So today we're going to kind of make a guide on the best premium aircraft that you can buy Golden Eagles. So we are only going to have the packs, like you see here, 50% discounts or any type of discount. They didn't confirm yet how, if all of them are going to be 50% or some of them, but we are only going to get the pack discounts on the 7th of November. So we only have the Golden Eagles ones. So we're going to talk about the ones that I think are worth it and the ones that I think are not, and just a general idea. Let's start with the US here. Very early stuff. Obviously, I don't think any of these tier 1s are worth it. If you want to basically just jump ahead and start to grind the US 3, save a little bit more and get at least the key 43. Just because then, because it's a premium, you can basically research everything with the maximum efficiency until the rank 3. If you get any of these rank 1s, you're only going to get rank 1 to 2, So if you get, it's just a tiny bit more, 150, for example, or 400 for the key 61. They're all very, very good aircraft, both of these. I think the XP55 is still too expensive. Bonus, think about that premium aircraft. The only objective that you are trying to do is research it quickly. So the idea is just have the maximum amount of points in general until you get to get quicker to the higher BRs. So for example, 1,900 for XP55 I think is too expensive, not worth it. These ones are kind of worth it, but to be honest, even more, better than that is basically these two, but these ones are also pretty alright. All of these tier 3 ones, because they're really, really, really cheap. As you see, it's just a little bit more expensive, and you will be able to research until rank 4, So, and compared to the rank 4 ones, they're very, very cheap, Like, look at the price on these things. Yeah, they're very expensive, even with the 50% discount. They're too expensive, in my opinion. So I really think that these 4 ones are the best ones for the US if you're wanting to just try starting, with the US line. A6M2, obviously very good aircraft. BF109 F4, very good as well. XP50 can be very OP if you use it correctly. BTD, it's kind of alright in the air-to-air, but very good attacker. And it can be used as a heavy fighter kind of thing, all of 4 of them are very, very good. These ones I don't advise you guys to buy, because even with these, if you want to really buy something like this, we have the F89, which is just a little bit more expensive than some of them, like the Ajude, and then you obviously will be able to research until rank 6, but it's still not that worth it. I'm going to talk about what I think it's worth it on these ones, when the packs came out, But for high tiers, I don't think any of these US ones are worth it, to be honest. Any of them that are from GE. The packs are worth it, but we have to wait until we see the discount on these. I'm going to make another video for that as well, okay? So for the US, I think the perfect line is the rank 3 ones. Cheap and reliable, very good machines. It will make you go from rank 1 to rank 4 very quickly. So yeah, it's just easier, The rank 2s are pretty alright as well if you have just a tiny bit of Golden Eagles to spare. But if you have a little bit more, just spend on these ones. Even the first one, which is just the cheaper one, you will have more points towards that. Obviously, the more you go to the expensive ones, the rewards will be higher. But we're kind of talking about efficiency here. It's just 50% more here. I mean, the price, I mean, 200, it's worth it to get the BTD just because of the efficiency, right? Because the price is not that much difference, you know. For example, here, it's not worth it. I mean, you're paying almost twice as much for the XA38 compared to the BTD, but having just a little bit more of efficiency, like 12%, I think. No, 18%. So yeah, not worth it, you know. So for the GE ones, for the US, tier 4, 3 are the best ones. Maybe some of the tier 2s. Everything else, I don't think it's worth it, okay? For Germany, let's get into it. The same principle goes for here. I don't think any of the tier 1s are worth it, even though the Fliegels BF109A, I think it's a very cool one, but still, I mean, it's so cheap that whatever, right? But I don't think it's worth it just because it's going to be relevant only for tier 1 and 2, and it's already very easy to research tier 1 and 2, so it doesn't matter too much, you know? The rank 2 has some pretty cool ones, but they are kind of expensive, to be honest, for these. The IL-2, as you see, ENIAC 1, they're pretty alright. The BV238, I mean, or even the Wellington, they're, I mean, alright, but I would not take bombers. I would probably take fighters or the IL-2. But they're just second line, to be honest, as well. The same principle goes for this, because for a little bit more, I mean, twice as much as the IL-2, you can get something like the P47D that will give you more research efficiency until rank 4, which is always going to help you. And of course, also being way cheaper than the Focke-Wulf. I mean, the Focke-Wulf is obviously it's not, it doesn't have a 50% discount, but yeah. And the TA154 also a very, very good option. So the rank 3s are always going to be one of the best options for you to start, you know. I would say these two, P47 or the TA, the best ones. Of course, rank 4, we have some interesting ones, like the HE219. It's kind of cheap for this BR. It's going to help you until level rank 5, but I don't think it's very worth it, to be honest. If you're going to expand this much, just try to save a little bit more and get a talisman or something like that for another aircraft. But I don't know. It's something very personal, you know, this one, to be honest. Because the DO335 and the GU288, they're, especially the GU, they're very, very good. Especially this one for bombing. And bombing will give you a lot of points, and especially with this research efficiency. But it is expensive. 2,400 is basically $16 that you are spending on this. So it is expensive. It's an expensive vehicle compared to these ones, you know. And for example, this one will give you until rank 4, and this one, I mean, this is almost half of the price, and it'll give you efficient. I mean, even though the rewards are lowered than this one, it's not by much, and you will still have the research efficiency to start researching the jets, you know. For rank 5, I don't think the G91 is worth it, to be honest. It's not an amazing aircraft. It's alright. I think you can use it properly, you know. But you are going to expend a lot of money, $24. Maybe if you save a little bit more, we will see the pack of the SPS next week to see how much it costs. But if you save a little bit more, maybe you can just get the SPS, which is way better, you know. So I don't think the G91 is that worth it, but it is alright. It is easy to get, and it will get you to rank 6. But I think for a little bit more, you can get the SPS. For the Soviets, I love the Soviets, and yeah, they have some very interesting aircraft. They're one of the nations that got the most amount of premium, so yeah, we have a lot of captured stuff, or not captured, but Lend-Lease stuff, you know. So they're very, very good aircraft here. As I always say, rank 1, not really worth it. They are very cheap, but anyway, for example, you can get these Lag 323 right now by free, just playing the game. So not really worth it, right? For rank 2, we have some interesting ones, especially the P39K1 is a very, very good one, especially because it's a lot cheaper than some of the other ones that you will see. But for a little bit more, you can get the P63. So yeah, that's the thing. If you expend a little bit more, the most efficiency that you can have, I think it's rank 3 and some of the rank 4 in general, you know? So the P40, for example, very, very cheap. So if you are going to get a tier 2, get the P40. It's so cheap and so good. It's way better than the Hurricane Mark II, I think, in my opinion. Even though the Hurricane is interesting because it has the Schwa cannon instead of the British cannons. But still, I would rather have the P40. It's just faster and easier to use in general, you know? The 153 is also a pretty good one, but it's a lot more expensive. These ones, I mean, as I said, they don't... I mean, if you are going to get the tier 2, get one of these, but these ones are not really worth it because of the price. Because for a little bit more than these ones, you can get something like the P63A3, which is an amazing aircraft, 800 Golden Eagles right now, 50% off. Obviously, the A20 here is not because it was added in this patch. Just an amazing aircraft, very good gun, still has the 50 cals. Efficiency is very good until rank 4. Very, very cheap and very effective weapon, you know? Of course, for a little bit more, if you want a P47, you can always get it. Very easy aircraft to use it as well, you know? So all of these three, they're very good. I still take the P63, just because I like the P63 more than the P47. But the P47 is a very, very good aircraft as well. B-25 also very easy to use. But as a bomber, I mean, I don't like it that much, in my personal opinion. In rank 4, we have some interesting ones. But as all rank 4s, they're very, very expensive. So you have to be careful. Yak 3, VK-107. An amazing, amazing aircraft at this BR. Very fast. It has the VK-107 engine. Just amazing. I mean, it's an Yak 3, but better. And yeah, it's just, it has this problem of 3,000 Golden Eagles, which is kind of like $20, almost $20, like $18 or something like that. Or let's just make the, I mean, it's like, yeah, it's around, let's see, $19, $20, around there, you know? So it is very expensive. It's very, very expensive. So for that price, you can get, but just a little bit more, 740 Golden Eagles. It's not like tiny numbers. It's like some dollars, you know, more. But you can get the Su-11, which is a bluntly OP aircraft that can destroy anything at its BR. It's very fast and very good with its guns. So there's no really a reason to use the Yak 3 if you can get the Su-11, which will have a more, a bigger reward, and also efficiency until rank 6. So you can get even to rank 6. As I always say, I mean, it will be twice the price, probably, or something like that. But you can always get the MiG-21 and the Su-25K that I'm going to talk about next week. But for the more efficient thing ever to start the Soviets is probably these three, you know. And for more advanced players that want a little bit more, this Su-11 is the most efficient one. Very, very good aircraft with a price that is not too far from the Yak. The other ones, not really worth it. The Su-6, not really worth it. B6, not really worth it, especially at this price, you know. UK now, obviously, no tier 1s. Tier 2s has some, but they're very expensive, to be honest, to be worth it. I mean, the Corsair Mark II here is very interesting because it's a Corsair with the clipped wing for the Australian or New Zealand, I think. But it is very, very cool. Or is it the Royal Navy? I think it's the Royal Navy. I might be talking trash, but still. But for this price, it's not worth it. I don't think I mean, it's an interesting aircraft, but not worth it. The worth ones, always rank 3. As you see, Hellcat, not really my thing. Probably would get the Thunderbolt or the Mustang Mark 1. They're both the best ones here. A little bit expensive, the Mustang. But you will get a little bit more... you know, efficiency, rewards, you know. But I still think the Thunderbolt is the correct one to use. It's an aircraft that it's very well known. You probably already flew one. Razorback, very cool. And you will be able to research until rank 4, you know. In rank 4, we have kind of the same problem as we had before, you know. It is too expensive to be just a little bit better, you know. So, I mean, look at this Spitfire Griffon. I mean, it's just too expensive, man. It's not worth it. If you can get a little bit more money and expand on one of these jets. The MB5 is alright. I think it's the best out of these tier 4 ones in efficiency, you know. But still, it is I mean, it's 1,000 golden eagles more than the Mustang, you know. So for that, I just would much rather have the Mustang than this, because it's twice the price, you know. Even though it will have only one rank less, but it's a lot cheaper, just a lot cheaper. And then obviously we have these. I mean, these jets are pretty alright, but as you see, for 500 golden eagles, I mean, get the Harrier GR1, right? Or wait until we see the pack, you know, the pack that will be released with the discount, maybe. I don't remember if this one is going to get a discount, but probably. But the Harrier, I mean, it's just 500 more than an Attacker. Attacker is a kind of a bad aircraft. The Meteor Mark 8, pretty alright, but for 300 more Golden Eagles, you get a Harrier GR1, which has one of the most OP missiles in this BR. It's still a Harrier, very easy to use, very good aircraft. Sea Vixen, very good aircraft, very interesting. The missiles are pretty badass in this BR. But, I mean, the price range is just not worth it. Remember, the idea of a premium is to get the most amount of efficiency possible, okay? So, yeah, it's complicated, you know? And then let's go for the last nation that we're going to talk about today, Japan. And then we're going to make another video probably tomorrow, you know, just to make sure that we have not a so long video, you know. I don't want to have a massive video talking about this. But yeah, Japan, we have the same problem as always. I mean, it's always cool to have these 125, but remember, they kind of are thrown out of the window money, you know, because you always can get a premium rank 1 in some form, you know, in some event or something like that. Or it's just that, I mean, tier 2 is already done, and it's very easy to get to tier 2, and you kind of don't need a tier 1 premium, you know. Tier 2s, you have some stuff here. I mean, one of the best are is the F4U, you know. Very cheap and very good, but I still think that you will expand a little bit more. This kind of 1,000 range, Gaijin Golden Eagles range is the best. A7M1 is probably the best aircraft in this BR. Amazing in turning, kind of fast, better than a Zero at least, and it's just an amazing aircraft. Get this aircraft. It's a very, very good one. If you want any of these, I mean, this is the most amount of fun that you will have in a dogfighter kind of thing. These ones, too expensive, as I said. I mean, not really worth it. It's 1,000 Golden Eagles more, so not really worth it, you know. The B-17, I mean, 2,500 Golden Eagles. It's really, really, really not worth it. All of these are not worth it. They're too expensive to be worth it, you know. The only one that kind of is worth it is the J2, but still it's very expensive. It's 1,000 Golden Eagles. The same problem that we have with the MB5 is the same problem that we have with the J2, you know. So, for example, I think the A7 is the most efficient one. Obviously, now we have the T2 early. Will not be in a pack discount, you know, because it was just added. So the only one that you can actually get here is the F40. To be honest, is a very good aircraft, especially now at 9.0. Very, very good. To be honest, one of the best premium in tier 5 that we can get. It is a little bit expensive for a tier 5 though. As you see here, I mean, it's the same price as these ones, but if you compare to, for example, the Harrier GR1, it's kind of expensive to have a 4,300 Golden Eagles for a 9.0 F40, you know? So I would say that it's a very, very good aircraft, but it is kind of not worth it. I would still get, just if you are starting, get like the A7M1 and try to finish all of these and then go for the jets. Especially the R2s are very easy to use at first, and then later you go for the F86s, and then just you research by hand, you know, by force of the will, the rest of the aircraft, because you don't have a lot of aircraft anyway in top tier. The most amount of time that you will basically spend is on tier 3 and 4. I mean, of course, you're going to end up having more time here just because it's a lot more points, but in general, it's easier to get everything just because it's like 5 aircraft here in top tier on rank 6 and 7, so it's very easy to get there, you know. So I don't think the F40 is worth it. Very good aircraft, but the price is a little bit too salty, even with the 50% discount. I mean, obviously, I'm talking about the 50% discounts, obviously, because I want you guys to get the most amount of money out of your buck, you know, most amount of stuff out of your buck. So in general ways, the normal days it's not really worth to use this money to buy this kind of thing, you know, but in promotions like this, discounts like this, it's worth it. But yeah, guys, this is it. We are going to talk about all these nations. We have a lot to talk about in another video tomorrow. So make sure to subscribe, and I see you guys tomorrow, guys. So see ya. Bye.